Hope y'all can hear me all right. I got these things on to help y'all hear me better. And let me get tuned in here so I can see y'all if I can figure out how to do that. How do I get this live on my other phone so I can read y'all's comments? I'm not real smart at stuff like this. I did it last time, but I don't remember what I did. I see all my videos. Let me get this up. Oh, nobody's talking yet. Y'all are looking at the ceiling with it like that. Let me put that back down. I can't figure it out. So I guess I'll have to read the comments on that phone. Looks like my channel would show up. I guess I'm not big enough. Anyway, I got some stuff I want to read to you. And then we'll talk if anybody comes on here. It's Mother's Day. Uh, Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I forgot to say anything earlier, and I apologize. I do love and respect every one of you. My mother's been gone so long that I don't even think about it anymore, and I apologize because I know there's a lot of mothers that listens to my channel, and I appreciate every one of them. I respect every one of them. Being a mother and a dad is a tough job. It is. I don't. Oh, Toxic Gameplay says Jesus is Lord. Amen and hallelujah that He is Lord. Amen to that. And that's all I can see. Oh, there's Milo's. Hello. Can you say Nada Maxim and T, please? Okay, I think I just said it. I don't know how bad I messed it up, but I tried to say it. Hello for Christ. Thankful for Christ's love. I am thankful for that too. For more than anything else in the world, more than everything else in the world combined. I am more thankful for Christ's love. Y'all, where would we be? Where would we be without the love of Christ? Without the blood that He shed for us at Calvary? Where would we be? I tell you, we're headed straight to hell. Let me see what he said. Just got back from dinner. My son took us out for Mother's Day. Enjoyed the dinner and the company of him and his fiancee. Hope you're feeling okay today. You're looking great. Thanks for reading. Thank you. I feel good. I'm tired. I am so tired. I've been running myself ragged all week, really. And today I got the yard finally, the last little bits and pieces that I hadn't whipped into shape yet, I got them whipped into shape, and I'm happy now. I got a big yard. I don't remember if it's 4 or 5 city lots that I got here, but it's a lot. It's not near as much as I had out in the country back in Texas. That was 7 acres. That was a lot more than I got here, but I sold it because I couldn't take care of it by myself anymore, and now I'm up here trying to take care of 4 or 5 city lots, and I got it looking pretty. And I got my garden. My gardens are looking good. I noticed just a while ago that everything I've got planted has sprouted. So, and that's okra and beets, a lot of beets, and corn and carrots, white onions, red onions, radishes, and 3 kinds of peppers. And I planted all the peppers together, so I don't know if all three different kinds have come up or just one, or I don't know, because they're all planted together. I won't know until they start making plants. But I got a lot of stuff coming up where the peppers were. Oh, and potatoes, the small little red potatoes. That's the only potatoes I like. And out back, I've got a big new flower bed of 7 to 10 foot tall sunflowers and 5 to 7 foot tall sunflowers and zinnias. And then in the front, I've got the only 3 rose bushes that I have found since I moved up here. And I found them last year or the year before. Nobody here sells rose bushes. And these I found on Mother's Day, or a day or two before Mother's Day, at Ollie's. And Ollie's normally doesn't sell plants, but they had these 3 rose bushes, and they were about that tall, 3 or 4 inches tall. And I bought all of them, and it didn't say what color they were. I was just taking a gamble, but it didn't matter to me what color they were. And I brought them and planted them, and they've all bloomed. 2 of them is red and 1 pink, or vice versa, 2 pink and 1 red. I don't remember which, but I like all of them, so it doesn't matter. But they're still only 3 or 4 inches tall. And I've had them at least a year and maybe 2 years, and they haven't grown even an eighth of an inch. This year I fertilized them though, so maybe they'll grow better. And the flower bed where they are has 2 tulips growing in it, and I refreshened that flower bed and enlarged that flower bed a few days ago and added new mulch. Oh, I showed a picture of that after I finished. Is one of the thumbnail pictures for one of my videos, whatever video I did on that particular day. And then a friend here in town gave me some irises, and I got them planted, and one of them has a bud on it. It's about ready to bloom. And then I bought a bunch of dahlias and planted them, and I think they're all up. They were a bulb. You had to wait for the bulb to sprout and pop up through the dirt, and I think they're all up. I forgot how many I had now, but I've got a lot of them. They're everywhere, and they're that flower bed I built way out on the corner. I live on the corner of 2 streets. That diagonal flower bed I've got out at that corner has nothing but dahlias in it, and it's going to be beautiful when they start blooming. And then up on the porch on either side of the door, I've got 2 big pots that I bought, and I've got dahlias and something else in them. I forgot whatever's in them I bought last year, and they came back and they're looking great. They're really looking good. So that's going to be pretty when they all start blooming, and it's all looking good. Hi, Life Unlocked-ish. I'm doing good. Thank you. Hi to you, Life Unlocked-ish. I like that. And thankful for Christ's love. Oh, it's Mark in Pennsylvania. That changed my name. Hi, Mark. I know you. I can't see this, y'all. And tell me, how do I say my name if you can? Arsalan Amini. How close did I come? Or Arsalan Amini. And there's Lucifer. Hey, my brother. It's good seeing you here. How's everything in California? My hand's shaking. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can see it or not. Madness Hook. Hi, Grandpa Drugstore. Where'd I get that name from? A grandpa, okay. I'm not a grandpa, but I wish I could be a grandpa. I don't know where the drugstore part came from. I don't sell drugs. Let me see if I missed any up here. Milo's LSD, thank you so much. I love you. I love you too. Just got back. Oh, yeah, I'm glad y'all enjoyed your dinner and happy birthday. I mean, happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Okay. Arsalan Amini gave me some hearts, but he also is laughing at me, so I must have not said it right. I'm sorry. I tried. Just waiting for the rapture. Me too, brother. Man. But you know what? Till it happens, I'm going to keep sharing Jesus because there's people out there that don't know Jesus yet. Nice to meet you, Grandpa. Nice to meet you too, Madness Hook. Thanks for coming on here. Y'all, I wanted to read something to you. Y'all hang loose a minute and let me read something to you here. This is in Numbers, chapter 22. And it's going to be it's a lot. It's a bunch of verses. Y'all hang loose here. Listen to it. It's amazing to me at how God works and how God can get what he wants accomplished through some of his angels, through men, through women, through children. And here, I'm fixing to read you where he got something accomplished through an ass. ASS, ass. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way. The ass, the donkey, was smarter than Balaam. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself unto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place. The angel of the Lord. Balaam wasn't seeing the angel of the Lord, but Balaam's ass was. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass and said unto Balaam, speaking through the ass, he said, What have I done unto thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? That would make me have a heart attack, y'all. I had a donkey one time. It could almost talk, but it couldn't. And if she ever would have, I probably would have had a heart attack right out there in the pasture. And Balaam said unto the ass, here he's talking back to his ass now, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. Balaam was not happy. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am I not thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me, and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I had slain thee, and saved her alive. And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displeases thee, I will get me back again. And the angel of the Lord said unto Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him unto the city of Moab, which is in the border of Arnon, which is in the utmost coast. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not earnestly send unto thee to call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me? Am I not able indeed to promote thee to honor? And Balaam said unto Balak, Lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that God putteth in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came into Kirjath Huzoth, and Balak offered oxen and sheep, and sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, that thence he might see the utmost part of the people. That's some good stuff right there, y'all. And if you want to know the rest of the story, just keep reading in Numbers. That was from Numbers chapter 22. Continue on in 23 and 24. And looks like through 25, but that's some good stuff. Hey, everything in that book is good stuff, y'all. Now let me hang on a minute. Let me get my other phone here and see if I can find y'all. How do I find my cell phone here? I did it last time I did a live, but I never know what in the world I'm doing here. How do I find my own love? I don't know. I can't find it now. Last time I was using this phone, reading y'all's comments and responding to them, it made it a whole lot easier. But I can't find it now. So I'll just do it the hard way. Let me get this phone in my hand. What is your age? My age is, how old do you think I am? Tell me that, and then I'll give you my age. Say happy in peace, Grandpa. Oh, stay happy in peace. I am. I'm a happy old man, living all alone with my kitty Callie. And there's Al. Hello, Al. Al, I live on one side of my state, and Al lives all the way on the other side of my state. It's not my state. Texas is my state. I just came up here. Hey, Lucifer, I'll show Kitty Callie. Hi, Maria. I love you, dear friend. And Susan sent me a message and then she took it away. So I don't know what her message was. Let me. Oh, there, Susan H. said, thank you. You're welcome, Susan H. Madness Hook said, nice to meet you, Grandpa. It's good to meet you, too. Subscribe to my channel. I'm on here every day with something. Sometimes I find some really interesting stuff. It's all interesting stuff, but sometimes I find some that really surprises me. And I've read the Bible so many times, but I still find stuff that seems like I never read it before. I know I have because I've read the whole thing many times. All right, I've seen all y'all's messages now. It was 63, but I was afraid it was too old. Oh, no, 63 is not old enough. You got to go higher than that. Let's go higher and higher and higher. Come on, Susan. Thank you for that, though. Goodness gracious. When I was 63, I wish I was 63 again. No, I don't. Susan, Raptor Susan, still praying for you daily. Who is Susan? Susan, who are you? Do I know Lucifer? Do I know Susan too? I don't remember Susan. Let me get a drink, y'all. Y'all made me thirsty. Susan and Lucifer having a conversation back and forth. Keep on going, Kitty. I can't see the phone. What are you doing? There's no food, nothing there. Move, 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 move. Go somewhere. That's my big hairy kitty. My big hairy kitty Callie. I remember I prayed for you before, Susan. Yeah, I remember that. I don't think you come on very often, do you? I don't remember. My brain is so, my brain can't remember diddly anymore. Jennifer, hey, people's hi from Florida. Hi, Jennifer. What part of Florida are you in? The Atlantic Ocean side, the Gulf of America side, or the top side that's up by Georgia and South Carolina, or whatever's up on top of you? Lucifer says, I've been praying for you for a long time. I know that, and I appreciate it. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. Oh, you wasn't talking to me. You was talking to Susan. But I know you've been praying for me some too. Not well. So I'm not on a lot with Susan. I'm write your name on my list so I can remember to pray for you every day. I know I had you on there, but I thought you're all right, so I took you off. Gulf of America. All right, Panama City. There you go. You know, a lot of people got upset with him, with President Trump changing the name from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, but they didn't understand the reason. You know, when I first heard it, I thought that guy has totally flipped. I, I lived in Texas pretty much all my life. I've lived in 7 states, and I lived in England for a while when I was still working, and I retired back in 2000. And I thought if it was going to get changed, it should get changed to Gulf of Texas. But that wouldn't have been accurate either, because it also covers Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. But he changed it to Gulf of America, and I thought that is just cuckoo. And then I understood why Gulf of America, because by it being Gulf of America, we can use our military to protect America from that side a lot better than if it was called the Gulf of Mexico. So he's smart. He's a lot smarter than me. Hi, Stan from Portland, Oregon. Hey, Carrie. Good to have you on here, Carrie. I've been to 44 states, but I've never been to Oregon or Washington State. I've been to Washington, D.C., but not Washington State. I've been to California. I've been from one end of California to the other, but I've never been to Oregon or Washington. What part of, well, it don't matter. Oh, you're from Portland. Where there's a preacher up there that I like. He's on YouTube that I listen to, but I can't remember his name. He preaches at some church in Oregon. Do you know who I'm talking about, Carrie? Athey Creek or something like that, maybe. Brett. I can't remember his name. Carrie. Talk to me, Carrie. Maybe I can find him on. Where'd I put my other phone? I guess Kitty Callie's laying on it. She's laying right on top of that other phone. And she's a heavy kitty. All right, I got it back. Hey, picking up this phone just reminded me of something. Let me ask y'all if y'all can help me. I got a voicemail on this phone. This is a new phone, a couple of months old. I don't remember how long I had it. I don't know my password to listen to my voicemail messages on this phone. I thought I had set it the same as that phone, but it doesn't work. So I don't know who that voicemail is from. And it was on there before I noticed. Okay, that's all right, Carrie. It's, I think the church is Athey Creek. Got a daggone cat hair in my mouth. I just got it out. Let me look here. But I like that preacher. It's in West Linn, Oregon. WESTLINN, Oregon. and it's called Athey Creek. Brett Meter is the pastor. He's a good preacher. I listen to him a lot. In West Lynn, Oregon, wherever the heck that is, I don't know. But that's his church. Can y'all see it? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hi, Alicia. On my phone, I get a little notification that I can just tap and it calls my voicemail. Yeah, I get a notification. Let me see if I can tap it. Oh, wow. Thank you. Who was that? Alicia, thanks. It worked. Now I'll go listen to it after I finish this live stream. I didn't know you could do that. That is so cool. And now, since I did it, does that mean that notification is gone and I can't do it? Because I turned the phone off. You're not far from West Lynn. I'll have to have a visit. Yeah, I know. Good churches are very hard to find, Carrie. I can't find one. And the last place I lived, I couldn't either. But there's some good ones on YouTube that I listen to. I like Brett Meter. He's a good preacher. He's kind of a young guy, but he's good. And John MacArthur, he's been one of my favorites for a long time. And Charles Stanley, that died last year, I guess. He hadn't been dead real long, but he's got bunches of videos on YouTube that I listen to. And J.D. Farag is a good, he knows prophecy good, and he's good. But what agitates me about him is he's always trying to be funny. And I don't want a preacher that's always trying to be funny. But he knows prophecy good. He used to be invited to a lot of groups, a lot of places as guest speaker because of his knowledge of prophecy, but he's not in anymore. And it's probably because he's trying to be a comedian more than he's trying to be a preacher. What I think Lucifer knows more people on here than me. Okay, Alicia. But if I do that, how can I get to that message that was already there? I don't know. I guess then it would ask me if I want to listen to previous messages or something. I forgot how it works. I always just do everything automatic and don't pay attention how it works, and now I'm stuck. It will play all messages. Okay, that's what I was thinking then. All right, thanks, Alicia. You're awesome. I appreciate that. It's probably nothing. Most of the stuff I get is not worth anything, but it just bothers me that I know I've got a voicemail and couldn't get to it. Now, it evidently has a password set up. Is there any way to change it without knowing it? Or do I have to go through this, what you told me, every time I get a voicemail now? I don't know. And uh, trying to get an answer from AT&T, who my phone service is with, is like, Kitty Callie, laying right here. She could help me a whole lot better than AT&T could, and she doesn't know diddly about phones. Okay. Nobody talked about what I read from the Bible. I thought that was some good stuff. Jennifer, how far is where you live from Mar-a-Lago? I don't even know where Mar-a-Lago is other than Florida. I've seen pictures of it, and it's something else. Susan, I'm really going to keep you top of my prayer list. I didn't know you were still having problems. Y'all can't see Callie, but she's laying right there. Right there, see? She's asleep. It don't matter where I'm at. She's right beside me. If I go to the living room, she's right beside me. If I go to the bathroom, she's right beside me. If I go to bed, she's right beside me. If I lay down on the couch to stretch my bones for a few minutes, she lays down right beside me. And she'd go outside with me if I'd let her. Back in Texas, we lived out in the country and had acres everywhere. And I'd let her go wherever she wanted to. And she'd always come back to eat and to drink. And if it was cold outside, she'd sleep inside, but it didn't get cold outside very often. But I was looking at some old pictures recently, and I had pictures of her laying on my bed back in Texas. And I don't remember her ever doing that, but I had several pictures of her laying in bed. So she did. She was a whole lot smaller then. She's got to be a big cat since we moved up here. I guess because she's indoors all the time. Not fat, just big, big, that way big. She's long. She used to be, she was the, there was four kittens born when she was born, and she was the runt of the litter. And until I moved up here, she was still a tiny cat. She was uh, 10 years old when we moved up here. And she was still a tiny cat. And now she's a big cat. Look at this. Look at how long she is. This is a full-size Bible. Look, well, I can't see where it's at. Anyway, she's a big cat. But it's the sweetest cat. I've never been a cat person. I've always had lots of dogs, not lots of dogs, but 3 or 4 dogs, and now I've got a cat, and I love this cat. Well, Lucifer, why wasn't she big boned all of her life? Because she's 13. What is this? Is 2025. She's 12 years old. Oh, I said she was 12 when she moved up here. She was born in 2012, so she's 13 years old. So she must have been 9 years old when we moved up here. And mine were too back home. Lucifer, or not, I've only got the one, but back home, she was in and out. She could do whatever she wanted. A lot of times she would sleep in the well house or the barn, and if it was cold, she'd want to come inside where the heater was. But other than that, she'd stay outside. And there was wild pigs and deer and kitty Callie, all kind of snakes. She had a brother that got killed by a snake bite, but she never did. Hi, Jackie. Good seeing you too. This is Kitty Callie, Callie, Callie. She's a calico cat, and so I named her Callie. Not very original, probably, but that's it. Yeah, she is sweet, Carrie. She's a very sweet cat. Look at her. She just laying there, waiting for me to pat her and rub her some more. She's already had her supper. I hadn't had mine. I bought, back in Texas, I lived, thank you, Jackie, I lived on the Texas Gulf Coast, and a lot of times you could go down there if it was a incoming tide, a high tide, you could go down in shorts on the beach with the net and just go out and swoop that net full of shrimp, big jumbo Texas shrimp. And I used to do that a lot. And hello, oh goodness gracious, I don't have any idea how to say your name. Destania. I hope I'm getting that partly right anyway. It's good to have you all here. And if I couldn't find any, close enough to just scoop up with a net, there's a fish store in town right there on the beach. And that fish store was called a fish market. Captain Mike's or Captain Mark's. I don't remember if it's Mike or Mark, but it's Captain one or the other fish store. And he had his own boat, shrimp boat, and he had these big, like 6-foot square containers and about 6 feet high. And I don't know how many he'd put on his boat, but he would go out and fish and shrimp all day and come in and sell whatever he caught. And I would go there. He had a sign out front that said if it was any fresher, it'd still be swimming. And that's about right, because his dock was right across the street from his store. And I bought a lot of shrimp there. And boiling shrimp is about the only way I'll ever eat them. And up here, most people don't know what a shrimp is. And I was in a grocery store yesterday, the day before, and they had some big shrimp already boiled. I don't know where they came from. And they're not jumbo shrimp, but they're a lot bigger than any I've found up here so far. Most of the ones I've found so far is those little tiny cocktail shrimp, and it takes like 10 of those to even know for you to even know you're eating a shrimp. So I was happy to find these big jumbo shrimp. And let me get them. Hang on just a second. Look at there. See that? They're not giant, but they're pretty good size. I was going to eat some before I started this live video, but I don't like the cocktail sauce they have in there. And I always make my own cocktail sauce, but I don't have the ingredients, or I don't have all the ingredients. So I'm just going to save the shrimp till I go to the grocery store in the next day or two and buy the ingredients and make some more. I thought I had some left over from last time, but obviously I don't, because I looked and looked and looked and it's not in there. And I cleaned out the fridge the other day, and so it's easy to find stuff in there now, and there's none in there. So how do I make what? My cocktail sauce? Lots of hot horseradish and ketchup and Tabasco sauce. And I use some tomato, what do you call it? This paste, tomato paste. Hey, I'm back, Jennifer. 600 from Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. I didn't know. I hadn't been to Florida. I don't know. I guess, gosh, it's been a long time since I've been to Florida. For a while, I had a girlfriend in North Carolina, and that's when I still lived in Texas. I'd drive from Texas to North Carolina pretty often, but I didn't go through Florida. I don't remember the last time I was in Florida. It's been a long time. Ontario, Canada. I've been to Ontario 2 times. It was work related, but I got to stay there an extra 2 days. And I've been to Toronto. I think I flew into Toronto and then went to Ontario, and there's some little town too. Whereabouts? Whereabouts what? I know I went to Ontario and Toronto and some little town. I can't remember the little town. You was born in Toronto, okay, but you moved to Ontario? Let me see if I missed any messages up here. Yep, Candy, I was showing the shrimp I found. The first decent sized shrimp I found since I moved up here. Candy in Ohio. What's for supper? Those shrimp I showed you. That's for supper. I'm going to look in the regular cabinets and see if I got ingredients to make some good cocktail sauce. I've got the hot and spicy horseradish. You have a dachshund named Watson. He's a little sweet and a little ornery. I had a dachshund named Odie, O-D-I-E. He was a whole lot sweet and kind of ornery, sometimes real ornery, but he was a good boy. He died just before I moved up here. He was my buddy for a long time. He would go with me anywhere I went in my truck. And now Kitty Callie. Kitty Callie had never ridden in a vehicle before we moved up here, and she didn't like it at first, but I had her in one of those big pet carrier things and had her sitting on the front passenger seat, and she was meow, 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 real loud, and it was hurting my ears for miles and miles and miles. And I'd talk to her, and she wouldn't hush. And so I thought, this ain't gonna work very good because it's about to drive me crazy. And I picked up her carrier, and I've got a big console. I can't show y'all anything because that phone's so narrow, but I've got a big console between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. So I picked up her cat carrier and set it on top of the console, and then she could see above the dash and see out the front windshield. Plus, she was right next to me, and I could stick my finger in the hole and kind of scratch her while we were driving. She was happy then. All the rest of the way up here, she was happy. But Odie boy, when I had him, he went everywhere with me. What about ketchup? I use ketchup and tomato paste to thicken it, and lemon juice, horseradish, and I can't remember if there's anything else. She's getting hair all over this place. Toronto was in Ontario. I thought it was two different. Ontario's like the state or province or whatever you call it. You're right. Yeah, I was messed up. I was thinking it's two different towns, but you're right. There she goes again. Yeah, province. Y'all call them provinces up there. You're right. Ontario is the province and Toronto is the town. Okay, I think I've seen all of y'all's. Nobody said any. Oh, wow. All the comments just disappeared, but they came back. Nobody said anything about the scriptures I read. I thought that was pretty interesting stuff. All right. Now you're in Whitby. Where is that? I don't know. Is that like a suburb of Toronto? I know I used to watch Heartland. It's a Canadian TV series. It might still be on. It was on 16 or 17 years. It might still be running, but I love that show. I had seen every episode about 20 times. I kept watching it over and over and over. It's on Netflix or somewhere. I forget where I watch it. A large town in Ontario. Okay. They're in Alberta. Is Alberta a town or a province? You came in after the reading. Where am I? I'm at home. I'm in the kitchen / dining room. The phone is on the dining room table. What city? Plain, like just plain old nothing. Plainville, Kansas. It's in northwest Kansas. And it ain't nothing like the Texas Gulf Coast where I lived most of my life. It gets cold here, y'all. I ain't lying. Not like it does up in Canada, but it gets cold here. A lot of snow, a lot of ice. I just hibernate during the winter. I don't go anywhere in the winter. I get enough food where I don't have to get out. I have whatever a girlfriend up here, and this past winter she told me early. She said you need to get snow tires on your truck. Last year she drove my truck a lot, and she's rich. She's a doctor in that big town south of here, and she's got her own business here in town, and she's got a ton of money. She has a big ranch, lives out in the country on the ranch. But anyway, she told me I need to get snow tires on my truck. I don't know why she'd drive my truck. She's got trucks, she's got Jeeps, she's got luxury cars, she has big SUVs. She's got it all, but she liked to drive my truck. And she told me I needed to get snow tires on my truck. I said, why? In the wintertime I hibernate. I don't get out and drive in that stuff. But I got snow tires. Those things were expensive. And I don't I don't think I got out in the snow. I went one time I went to the grocery store, which is like 7 blocks away. This is a tiny town. The grocery store is like 7 blocks away, and I went and I didn't know there was ice all over the road. And that was right after I got those snow tires, and that snow tires didn't do any good for that ice. That truck was sliding. First time I went around a corner, it's a good thing there's no cars coming because they'd have got hit, but there was nothing. And I got there and back and didn't go anywhere else. Running with faith. Hey there. Oh, what, did you get your computer fixed? Yeah, I guess she does, but she doesn't drive it anymore. She's so busy now. She opened a new store here in town. She has a quilt business. It's uh oh, I can't remember the name of it. Hang on. She gave me this coffee cup from her store. Can you see it? It's Paradise Flats Quilt Company, and it's in Plainville, Kansas. I go there all the time, but I didn't know, not because I'd make quilts, because I don't even know how to thread a needle, much less make anything. I don't know. I don't have a clue how to edit. Nothing I do gets edited. That would be neat to see you. And when you do something, let us leave comments. You always turn the comments off. I like to leave comments. They, Jackie, they must be. I didn't know anything about quilts. You know, my two grandmas used to do quilts, but they did them, I guess, by hand. I don't know. I never saw them. I just saw what they were working on and what they looked like when they finished. I never saw them actually working on them. But her business, this is a tiny town. I think the population here is 2,700. And every time I go in there, she's got one of those, it's called a long arm quilting machine. If that means anything to you, it didn't to me, but it's a computer guided. You can't see my arms. They're way out. It's a 15-foot long table with this computer sewing machine that goes back and forth. And you put your quilt top and your batting material, the fluffy stuff that goes in the middle and the bottom. And then it's got like 15,000 different patterns you can pick out. You know, what pattern you want made on your quilt, and push a button or two and it takes off. I've done some videos from her shop showing that machine. That machine impresses me. She watches my videos sometimes, so maybe she'll hop on here. She's probably not. Well, it's Sunday. She might be, because she's at home. Why not move to Texas if I don't like the cold? I would love to move back to Texas, but I can't afford it. It was so high. That's why I moved up here. Well, because that, plus I couldn't physically take care of the place out in the country I had. Texas is expensive now. Slim, hi, Stan, and family. Hi to you, Slim, and there is no family except for my cat, my cat and me. That's it. All right, let me. Maria, I'm glad you got your computer fixed. Well, now that something keeps popping up. I don't know what it is. Okay. I'm too old to do all this, but I would love to have 1 or 2 acres and a heavily wooded area where I could build a 1 room tiny cabin. I would love that, but I'm too old to do all that now. I've got a good setup here. Oh, okay. Slim, I understand you. Sorry. Yeah, we've got Family of God right here in this chat. Got some good people here. Except Private, I have no idea who that is. But they're behaving, so that's all right. Slim, did you see my family? She's gone now, but she was up here with me. I got a towel full of cat hair to prove it. She was right here. She took off. I guess she got tired of me talking. And I wasn't talking to her, so she just left. And that's unusual because usually she's right beside me. All righty. Hi, Aaron. God bless you too, friend. Yeah, I got you now, Slim. I, I thought you knew, but I don't remember who knows and who doesn't. I have no family. Y'all are my family. From South Africa, it's almost 2 a.m. Well, why are you up? In South Africa, y'all not sleep at night? 2 a.m., I'm asleep most of the time. Sometime I am awake, but if I'm awake at 2 a.m., I'm not on the computer or phone. South Africa. Wow, that's a long ways from here. I'm glad to have you here. And why private, private? You don't want anybody knowing who you are in South Africa? Oh, y'all, I got to get off here soon. I'm getting a crick in my neck and my back leaning over reading y'all's comments, and it looks like they stopped now. All these, oh, there's somebody new, Bobo Doyle. Whoa, we got an elder. Any crazy stories from my youth? I could tell you some crazy stuff. I'll tell you one, just one. When I was a kid, and I was old enough to drive, but not old enough to live on my own. I wanted to go into, we lived in a small town, a farming town out in the country. It was, I don't know, population probably eight or 900, surrounded by farmland. And the closest decent sized town was about 21 miles north. And I got to go there occasionally on my own, but not often. And my best friend and I was wanting to go there, and my dad said, "You can go, but you're not you're not driving." And I said, "Okay." Or let's see, he said, "You can go, but not in your car," or something like that. Anyway, my my friend had an old truck, an old Chevrolet truck, but the battery was dead. And he said, "Come give me a push and we'll go to town in my truck." And I said, "Okay." So I drove, and he lived like 3 or 4 blocks away. And so I drove over there to his house and started pushing him. I had a car and he had a truck, and he had a homemade, home welded trailer hitch on the back of his truck that stuck out about 12 or 14 inches, had a ball attached to it. And I started pushing him. And when he popped the clutch, the the trailer hitch went up through my grill and all the way through my radiator. My dad hardly ever got angry. He got angry. I don't know why. I had to pay for everything for that car, but he got angry. But I didn't tell him about it until we got back from town. We went on. We got his truck started and went on to town, and then came back, and then I drove my car home with a hole that big around through the grill and through the radiator. I could tell you a bunch more. That that same friend and I, that friend, his dad was a preacher, not in town, but in another little country town. But one time he and I wanted to go fishing, and there's this creek over there that was bigger than a lot of rivers. It was a big creek, and that's where we wanted to go. It was about probably 20, 25 miles away, and my dad I had a boat and I had a trailer, but I didn't have a motor. And I asked my dad if I could borrow his motor. And he said, yeah. And he said, just be sure you tighten the clamps good when you put it on the back of your boat. I said, okay. And we went fishing. Got the boat off the trailer into the water, got the motor and put it on the back of the boat and parked the truck and the trailer and got in the boat and took off. And probably 10 or 15 minutes riding, going south toward the Gulf of Mexico. This creek ran into the Gulf of Mexico. All of a sudden, the most deadliest quiet you ever heard in your life. I forgot to fasten the clamps on the motor and it jumped off into the creek. And he and I both jumped overboard. I don't know how many times, bunches of times, and we could never even reach the bottom. So we had to paddle back to the trailer, put the boat on the trailer, go home and tell Dad his motor was at the bottom of the creek. After he had told us, be sure you tighten the clamps when you put the motor on the back of the boat. I said, oh yeah, sure, Dad. Anybody could not forget to do that? Well, we forgot. He found it. I told him where my friend's dad was a welder. He was a preacher and he had a welding shop too. And he welded a big, long handle fork like a rake where they could, and we told him exactly where the motor had jumped off at. And they went up there and found it and pulled it up, and Dad brought it back and took it all apart and cleaned it out and had that motor for a long time, but he sure was not happy. He was not happy at me. Butt whipping. I deserved one, but I didn't get one for that. Yeah, chickadee. Yeah, you're right. All right, y'all. Uh, there's some crazy stuff. Um, there's more. Y'all got me thinking about many, many years ago. I think it's time for me to get off here. Y'all, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day and I've been doing a lot and I'm hungry. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, cool. Bobos. Thank you. Great to relive them memories. Yeah, it was all pure happiness. That guy, he and I are still friends. He lives southwest of San Antonio, Texas now, and I live in northwest Kansas. I'm from Texas. I'm a native Texan. I've lived all over the place, y'all. I retired in 2000 and decided I was going to go try a bunch of states, and I've lived in 7 states, and Kansas was next on my list. And there was more on my list, but I've had some pretty serious health problems since I got up here, so I think I got too old to move anymore. And I like where I'm at now. I got a whole lot more friends back in Texas than I do up here, but I've got some really good friends here, and I love my neighbors, and they're good people. And I've got gardens here. I've got vegetable gardens and flower gardens, and I've really been working on my lawn. The lawn here is so different than the lawn in Texas. It took me a while to figure it out, but uh, I've got a pretty lawn this year. I've sowed a lot of grass seeds. This place was really, the house had just been refurbished. The house was like new. It's an old house. This house was built in 1910, but it had just been refurbished. New plumbing, new wiring, new paint, new flooring. It's a nice house, but the yard, it was rough, and I got it whipped into pretty good shape, and I'm happy. So I reckon I'll stay. I'm too old to move, and I can't afford to move. All right. Well, Slim, come back and listen to this grandpa anytime. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, I don't, it's up to you. I share Jesus and the Holy Bible, and that's about all. Unless I do a live like this, then I talk about anything. But the world needs Jesus more than it needs anything else, and so that's what I'm here for. And I do not monetize my channel. I could, but I don't. I don't want it to be about anything but Jesus. So it's not about money. I could use the money. Goodness gracious. When I retired early, I was young. I was in my 40s when I retired in uh, 2000. I thought I was set for life, but I wasn't. But that's what women will do to you. And I'm not talking about girlfriends, I'm talking about ex-wives. I'm glad y'all are all on here. God bless you, friends. Come back anytime. I'm here every day, not live stream, but I post new videos every day. All righty. God bless y'all.